Hello everyone, welcome to Complete Full Stack Development course. In this course, for the next 3 to 4 months, we are gonna learn complete full stack development. And my intent from this course, what is my goal from this course is that to help a person who want to start web development but don't know anything about web development and he don't know where to start, how to start. And my goal here, my intent here is to help that person. And I can guarantee you one thing, that by the end of this course you will learn how to make a complete end-to-end website by the end of this course. Okay, this is my guarantee, and my intent is to help a person who don't know anything about web development, who don't know how to start, where to start, and take that person from a zero level and make him at a point to the most advanced level. And by the end of this course, that person will learn how to build an end-to-end website. This is my goal, this is my intent from this whole course. Okay, now I have designed this course in such a way that this is not a traditional conventional course. In this, I'm not just gonna give you, oh, these are the technologies you have to learn and I will explain you the technologies and that's all. Here we are not gonna follow the traditional method. In this, I have followed a more advanced, or you can say more nuanced method. And this method, in this method, what we are gonna do is that at each and every milestone, let's say that we have reached a milestone, we have learned some technologies, and whenever we reach a milestone, what we will do is that we will using these technologies, whatever the technologies we have learned. For example, let's say that we have learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and this is a mini milestone in itself. So when we hit mini milestone at each and every level, what I will do is that I will do a mini project along with you guys. You and me sitting together, we will build a mini project. We will build at each and every milestone. Whenever we are hitting mini milestones at each and every level, we will try to build a mini project using the technologies which we have learned. Okay, so at each and every level we will try to build mini projects, and in this whole course, in this 4 months, we will be building at least 3 to 4 mini projects. And after completing all the technologies, right, I will tell you whatever the things which we are gonna learn, right, in front end, whatever the things which we are gonna learn on back end, database, which technologies, which languages we are going to learn. We will talk about that in just few minutes. But at each and every milestone, whenever, let's say we have completed full stack development, front end, so using front end technologies, we will try to build a mini project. And after completing this whole course, this all technologies, whatever the technologies that we need to build a end-to-end website, after learning that, we will build a major project, and this major project will be divided into different phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and in different phases we will learn some new things. Okay, for example, authentication, authorization, middlewares, APIs. We will at each and every phase we will learn. Okay, we have learned APIs. Now let us see how we can implement the concepts of APIs in our major project. Like this we will be doing, right? This is not going to be a conventional traditional teaching methodologies. In this, we will learn technologies, and whatever the technologies we have learned, we will try to immediately implement that using our mini projects, using our major projects. Okay, this is what our way of teaching is going to be. Okay, and one more thing is that by the end of this 4 months, you will be getting 3 to 4 mini projects in your resume. You can add this 3 to 4 projects, and these mini projects are not going to be like easy peasy dummy projects. Nah, this is going to be some valuable things. For example, let's say we are building task manager, we are building a timetable tracker, right? And this mini projects, you can add this in your resume, and this major project is going to be a end-to-end project, end-to-end website, which is nothing but complete website. And the website which we are creating, you can take that website, you can host it online, and that will work. like Amazon is working, like Flipkart is working. Similarly, this project you can consider it as your own website, and you can take this website, host it online, and you can like make that website online, and that website will actually work in real time. And you can also add that major project in your resume. Think about the value which we are providing. We are providing immense value, and we have to accept a fact here, which is at the end I'm a college student. I have my own things to work on. I have my records, observations, semester exams, mid exams, all those kind of things. But I will try my best to deliver the best thing that can be possible on the internet. Whatever the things I know, I will make sure that I am trying my best to deliver the best content to you guys. Okay, and this is my guarantee. Okay, I will deliver whatever the knowledge I am having. I will try to make the PPT, make the presentation in such a way that I will be delivering the best content to you guys. This is my guarantee from my side, and I want one thing from your side, and from your side I want this thing: consistency and discipline, right? And for example, let's say that we are uploading our lectures. We have uploaded the first lecture on 1st of September, and the next lecture I will give at least 1 day or 2 days gap. If the lecture is easy, if the concept which I have teach to you in that lecture, if it is easy, then I will give you 1 day gap. If the concept is tough, then I will give 2 days gap, and after 2 days the second lecture will get uploaded. For example, let's say I have uploaded my first lecture on 1st of September, then the next lecture will get uploaded on 4th of September. After 2 days gap, 6th of September, third lecture. Like this we will be uploading our lectures. But I want you guys to maintain consistency. Whenever we are uploading lecture, try to complete that lecture on that day itself. And when you put backlogs now, it will get compounded, it will get huge, and you cannot cope up after that, and you won't get time, because you guys are college students, you guys are working professionals, and it is hard. I accept that it is hard to fix or to make time in your hard schedule, but try to create at least 1 hour free time, and in that free time try to watch the lecture. Okay, and consistency, discipline will give you so much in your life that you cannot imagine that. If you maintain consistency, if you maintain discipline, then you will observe that the person you are before and the person you are after, these two persons are very different persons from one another. Okay, so try to make consistency. Don't make unnecessary backlogs, don't create unnecessary backlogs, because when you skip, oh, I know this lecture, let us skip this, I will watch the next lecture. But when you do that now, it will create a sort of ambiguity, it will create a sort of confusion in yourself. Okay, so Jabir is teaching something, but I have learned something, and why I'm getting this confusion? Because you haven't watched the previous lecture. So try to watch each and every lecture, even though the lecture is easy, but try to go to the lecture. And one more thing is that, let's say I am uploading a lecture of 1.5 hours, and if you have a tough schedule, if you have a hard schedule in your day, then it is not like easy to watch 1.5 hour lecture. So what I will do is that in the comment section I will give you the complete documentation of whatever the things which we have learned in that lecture, and by just reading the document you will understand, okay, in this 1 hour Jabir has teached this thing. Okay, you will get an idea. So if you are busy, if you are having some exams, then come and read the document, and by just reading the document you will understand, okay, in this session he has taught this, okay, this is the idea. You will get an idea of the whole lecture, the overview of the lecture. Okay, this is the thing I want from you guys: discipline, consistency, rigor. Okay, now one more thing here, this is becoming kind of philosophical lecture, but the first lecture, so I will give you what are the things which I want from you guys. So in this 4 months, in this 4 month journey, Okay, in this journey, this is not going to be an easy journey, right? For example, you might get some demotivation, you might get some errors, and this errors will cause you some demotivation. For example, let's say that in the lecture I'm telling you to write A, B, C, D, and in your VS Code, in your code editor, you are writing capital A, small b, C, D, and because of this small mistake, this thing is giving you an error. Okay, this small mistake is giving you an error in your code, and because of this small error, your code is not like running. And when this happens now, believe me, it is so devastating, it is so hard, and because of this you will get demotivated. Okay, and whenever you get errors, there is a quality which I tell to all my friends, which I tell to all the developers. That is, whenever you are getting problem, let's say you are getting a problem in your installing packages. Okay, you have to install some npm packages and you are getting installation error, because I am showing you how we can install in one operating system and you are using some another operating system, and because of this difference you are getting error. Okay, and when you get the error, most of the people get demotivated and they will quit. But the quality of a good programmer, the quality of a good developer is that they will take the charge of their own problems and always say that sit on the driver's seat, take the charge, be a man and fix your own problems, fix your own problems. And this is the quality of a good developer. Whenever they are encountering that problem, let's say they are getting problem in installation of npm, some sort of npm packages, whenever they get a problem, what a good developer do is that they won't cry. They don't cry, oh I'm getting this, oh he's saying wrong. They won't cry, they won't become pessimistic, they won't become cynics. What they will do is that they will go on Google, they will search it and they will try to find the problem on their own. And this is a quality of a good developer, and I want you guys to have that quality. Go on Google and try to type your problem and try to understand, oh this is the problem I am having, and for that problem this is a solution, this is how I can fix it. Understand it by yourself, and when you do that now, believe me, your problem solving skills, your mindset, your IQ will increase exponentially. And I want you guys to have that quality, to improve, to create that quality in yourself. Okay, and there is a website called as Stack Overflow, right? And in this website you can know whatever the problem you are encountering, type that in Google and you will get the website called as Stack Overflow, and I am very sure that in that website you will get the solution of your problem. Okay, and most of the developers, around 90% of developers who are working in tech, who are working in actual companies, they will get problems, and whenever they will get problems, they don't have any teacher, they don't have any mentor. So what they will do is that they will go on Google, type that problem, and they will go to Stack Overflow and they will fix their problems on their own. That is why they are working in companies, that is why they are working on big companies. Okay, so Stack Overflow is a website where you will get solution to your problems. Around 90% of your problems will get solved in Stack Overflow. And there is another website called as MDN Web Developer, right? MDN Web, and in this you can read the documentation, you can read complete whatever the technology might be, you can read documentation of that technology here. Okay, so this is the thing which I wanted to tell in the introduction lecture. So let us begin with our actual lecture. So yeah, I hope you got some motivation, some idea of how this course is going to be. Now let us talk about some other concepts. Before we talk about what is web development, what are the technologies involved in it, let us talk about what is internet. We are using Instagram, we are using Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Google, all those kind of things, and all these technologies, all these apps, companies are a part of internet. Okay, and it is really important to understand what is internet. Internet is nothing but interconnected network of computers, or you can call it as systems. So n number of computers are connected with one another around the world, and that system, that interlinked system, we call that as internet. For example, let us say that I am having computer A, I am having my computer, and my friend is having another computer. Let's say my friend is having another computer B. Now what I did is that I have taken a wire and I have attached the computer A with computer B. I have attached computer A with computer B using a wire, and this thing is known as network. This thing is known as connected computers. Connected network, we call this as connected network. And whenever I connect these two computers with one another, I can transfer data, right? I can transfer data, whether it might be files, whether it might be images, source files, whatever. So I can, using this connection, I can perform data transferring, right? And the same concept which I did for two computers, if I multiply this, let's say that I am connecting hundreds of computers, I am connecting thousands of computers. Okay, if I am multiplying this process, if I am scaling up this process, scaling up to a large scale, I am connecting thousands of computers with one another. Let's say there is a person who is sitting in America and I am sitting in India. Now I am connecting my computer with his computer, and that computer is connected to another computer in Korea, and that computer is connected to another computer in Japan, right? So this process, I am scaling up this process, and when this process is get multiplied, that thing we call this as internet. Okay, and in internet is nothing but the simple definition of internet is that thousands of computers are connected with one another, and this connection we call that as internet. Okay, I hope you are clear. Now in networking we have some terminologies which is important to understand, and this terminologies, in the next lectures we are gonna use this terminologies again and again. So it is really important to understand this terminologies, and this terminologies is that, you know, in the diagram I have computers, right? For example, this is my computer 1, computer 2, computer 3, computer 4, and you can see that these computers are interlinked with one another. Okay, these computers are interlinked with one another. Okay, now I am giving you a case where 24/7, where a computer is online 24/7, and this online computer is, we are using this computer only for data transfer, right? So I am making a computer, and the work of this computer is that it should be available 24/7, it should be online, and the only work of this computer is that whenever there is a request coming in, this computer should give some data in return. This computer is holding information, and whenever some request is coming to this computer should return something in return. Okay, for example, let us say that this is a computer, and this computer is online 24/7, and whenever a request is coming in, it is giving some data in return. It is transferring some data from itself. Okay, this computer is storing some data in itself, and whenever a request is coming in, it is giving something in return. Okay, and that kind of computer, we call that computer as a server. We call this thing as a server. Okay, and the computer which is sending request and receiving data, we call that as a client. Here you can see that this computer 2 is sending request to a computer which is online 24/7, and the only work of that computer is to give data, right? Whatever the request is coming in, it will take the request and it will give data in return. We call that type of computer as a server, and a computer which is receiving data, we call that as a client. Okay, and these are the two terminologies which we are gonna use again and again. In this old web development technology, in this old development journey, we are gonna use these two terms. Okay, and one more thing is that I hope you have understood what is a server, what is a client. So a computer which is available 24/7, that thing is known as a server. And a computer which receives information, it sends a request and in return it receives some information, that computer we call that as a client side. Okay, client computer, whatever you want to call. Okay, now in computers we have a concept called as IP address. IP address. So IP address is nothing but every computer will have a unique address. For example, if I want to tell you in layman's term, let's say you are buying land. That land in the whole earth, it will have some location, it will have some address, and using this address you can go to that land. For example, you are living in Kadapa, and in Kadapa you have some house address. So there is a friend who is living in Vijayawada. Okay, he is living in Vizag and he wants to come to your location, he wants to come to your home, your house. So how he can come? He can come from Vijayawada to Kadapa using your location, and he can come to your home using the location which you have provided. And can I say that this location is unique and this location cannot be replicated? For example, in whole earth there is only one city called as Kadapa. They cannot be multiple cities called as Kadapa, right? They cannot be multiple cities called as Hyderabad. There is only one city in Hyderabad, and in Hyderabad there is only one location called as High-Tech City, right? They cannot be multiple areas called as High-Tech City. And whenever, let's say I want to go to T-Hub, so I will type the address of T-Hub and it will show me some address, and using this address I can go to T-Hub, right? Similarly, for example, in this diagram we are having 4 different diagrams, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I am having 4 different systems, 4 different computers, and these computers will have their unique IP addresses. Okay, and these IP addresses are used to track computers, to track the information within the computer. We use IP addresses. For example, let's say the IP address of first computer is ABCD, the IP address of second computer is XYZ, JKL and PQR. So whenever I am giving some IP address, let's say my IP address is PQR. Whenever I am typing IP address, I will go to fourth computer. Whenever I am giving IP address as ABCD, then I will go to immediately my first computer. And in the first computer, IP address is nothing but the location of that computer, and using IP addresses I can track which is this system, where is this system. And in hacking, whenever you watch some movies of hacking, we might have heard the term IP address. So using IP address, the work of IP address is that we can locate a system. It is used to keep a track and locate where the system is and what is the actual location of that system, all those kind of things. Okay, I hope you have understood what is internet, what is IP address, server and client. Okay, now let us talk about how internet works. On day-to-day basis we are using Instagram, we are using Facebook, Google, all those kind of things. Now let us understand how internet works. For example, in Google I am searching, for example, let us say that in Google, let me go to Google here, I will show you directly. So on the system I have opened Google here. Okay, so so on the system I have opened Google. Now it is showing me different searches like Narendra Modi, Anil Ambani, all those kind of things. Now what I'm gonna do is that, let's say I want to go to Amazon, so I will write Amazon. and here you can see that I'm getting Amazon website. So here you can see that I'm opening Amazon.in. This is the website of Amazon.in. Now how this thing is working? So how this thing working is that, here let me come back to my PPT. So yeah, so what I did is that on the client side, I have told you what is a client side. So a client side is basically a person who is sitting on the computer and he is asking for some information. So he will type some information, and this is called as a request. So here you can see that first of all I have typed google.com, and after it I have typed amazon.in, and when I typed amazon.in, it is showing a website of amazon.in. Now internally how it is working is that first of all I am sending a request to my internet provider. Here on the client side I am the one, Jabir is typing something here, and when Jabir sends some request, that request will get transmitted to ISP. ISP is nothing but internet service provider, and for example Jio is a internet service provider, Airtel is a internet service provider, Vodafone, Idea, BSNL, these are the some of the internet providers in our country. Okay, and what this internet provider will do is that they will take the request and they will send the request again. Whatever the request you have sent it, they will take that request, they will identify, oh, this person is sending me this request, and this request will get again transmitted, will get again transferred to DNS, and DNS is nothing but domain name search. Domain name search. And this domain name search is you can consider it as a dictionary. In previous days, in 19th century, 18th century, people used to have huge dictionaries. If you remember, your grandfather, your great grandfather used to have dictionaries, right? And in that dictionary we have different names, and using these different names, for example, let's say there is a person called as Jabir, he is a lawyer and he has some house address. So first of all we will go to the name Jabir, and Jabir is a lawyer, and from this name we will go to his location address. Okay, similarly this is a, you can consider this as a digital dictionary. This is a digital dictionary in which it will store all the names of different domain names, right? For example, amazon.in is a domain name, google.com is a domain name, amazon.com is a domain name, zepto.com is a domain name. So what this DNS will do is that it will store all the domain names in this, and after storing, for example, my request is amazon.in, I have typed amazon.in, right? So it will send to ISP will send request to DNS, and DNS will search amazon.in in itself. Okay, amazon.in it will search, and after searching amazon.in, what it will do is that it will return back the IP address of the domain name. So here it will return the IP address, to internet service provider, and this internet service provider will return the IP address to my client. And whenever we get the IP address of that website, on the screen we will get the amazon.in. So whenever I am searching amazon.in, what is happening is that request will get transferred to my Jio provider. If I am using Jio, then that request will get transferred to Jio, and Jio will transfer that request to DNS service provider, and DNS will search amazon.in and it will return the IP address of Amazon, and that returning process will go to again ISP, and ISP will return the same thing to my client. And whenever an IP address is returned, for example, I want to go to your home, and if I know the address of your home, I can come to your home, right? Similarly, if I want to go to the address of Amazon, then I should know the IP address of that website, and whenever I am getting the IP address, I can go to their home, I can go to their website. So using the IP address, I am going to amazon.in, like this the whole process will work. And if you wanna like know what is the address of Amazon.in, what is the address of Google.in, then there is a website called as nsplookup.in. so let me show you the website. This is the website, and let's say here I wanna know the address, IP address of Google. So what I will do is that I will write google.com. it is showing me all this different kind of things. For example, I want to search google.com, and when I search this, then you can see that this is the IP address of Google. And let's say I'm copying this IP address, and if I, instead of writing google.com, if I search this thing, if I'm pasting this thing on the internet, and when I type this, you can see that I will get the google.com website. So instead of searching google.com using IP addresses, I can go to that website. So what is web development? Is that building websites for the internet is known as web development. We have seen google.com, we have seen amazon.in, we have seen zepto.com, right? So these are the different websites which are there online, present in the internet. Now if you want to build a website for the internet, then you have to learn web development. And in this we are gonna learn complete web development, and we will talk about how we can host our website, how we can use different hosting platforms, what are the different hosting platforms, Amazon, AWS, all those kind of things we will talk about in the next session. And the basic meaning of web development is that building websites for the internet, and that website should be available online 24/7. okay, now let us understand the working of a website. So what happens is that, let me write here Amazon okay. So talking about the working of Amazon.in, what will happen is that, let's say I'm in Google, I'm searching Amazon.in. so this is a request, and whenever this request happens now, that request will go to Amazon servers. I have told you that there is a computer which is available 24/7. So similarly, Amazon will have a computer which is available 24/7, and the only work of that computer is it will take a request and it will give you some data. okay, so what it will do is that Amazon computer, Amazon servers will take the request, right, will take the request of that whatever the things you have typed Amazon.in, they will take the request, and in return they have to give some response, right? So in response they will give you a bundle of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. okay, and that bundle will get combined, will get permutated and will result in the integration of the website. okay, finally on the front end, this is known as front end. Whatever the things which you are seeing on the website, on the interface of the website, that thing is known as front end. okay, so Amazon.in, when you search, when you pass, this is the client side. Actually this is the client side. First of all, you are giving some, you are asking for request, and you are getting some, you are receiving some response out of it. So this request response cycle will get continued. This request response cycle, this thing we call this as request response cycle. So you will write Amazon.in, and that request will go to Amazon servers, and in return the Amazon server will give you a bundle of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and this bundle will get permutated, and it will give you the integration, the interface of your website. Finally you will get a website, and this whole cycle we call this as request response cycle. I hope you got the logic. Now let us talk about what is this. What is this front end? Front end is nothing but a combination of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Whenever you are giving some request to your backend, in the backend Amazon servers will perform something, will calculate something, and in return they will give you HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And the HTML is the structure, is the foundation. For example, there is a house. So first of all, what you will do is that first of all you will build the structure of your house. Okay, this is where bedroom should be, this is where the kitchen should be there, and the floor should be on the top of the house, the bathroom should be there, right? Like this, first of all you will define the structure of your house. After it you will design, okay, in bedroom the colors should be like this, the architecture of the bedroom, the interior of the bedroom should be like this. After defining the overall structure, the skeleton of your house, you are defining the styling of the house, that is known as CSS. And after it you are giving wiring, you are passing electricity, you are passing water supply to your house, that functionalities, you are providing functionalities. Whenever you are turning on the button of fan, the button of fan should get turned on, the fan should get turned on. Whenever you are owning, you are switch oning the air con, the air conditioner should get turned on. Okay, this functionalities is defined by JavaScript. So HTML will give the structure of your website. Okay, the button should be there, the list should be here, the paragraph should be here, the heading should be here. Like this, HTML will define the structure of your website. Okay, now after that, after defining the structure of your website, CSS will give you the styling. Okay, this button color should be this, okay, this image should look like this, this image should be in circular in nature, this image should be displayed in square format, this image should come after 10 seconds, after 20 seconds, the transition should happen like this, right? And this person should look like a black person, this person should look like an African person. So the styling, the overall styling and the font and all this website looking is defined by CSS. Okay, and the functionalities, whenever I'm hitting login, I should get a new page. Whenever I'm hitting a button, then it will show you something, it will show you some error, it should show you a prompt that you are going to some other thing. So this prompt, warning, functionalities of your whole website. For example, in Amazon.in, I'm performing some sorting based on rating, I should get my products. So internally JavaScript is get using here, right? So JavaScript will give you the functionality of your website, right? How a website should perform, how a website should be. If I go in this path, if I go in another path, the website should look something different. Like this, the functionality is defined by JavaScript. Okay, so before we talk about what are the things which we are learning, let me show you a website structure. So let me show you the website. I am on my Flipkart website. So you can see that my Flipkart website is showing me different things, some images, cameras, watches, Batman toys, all those kind of things, right? So for example, to understand the structure of this website, what we're gonna do is that we will click on the right button, the right click of my mouse, and when you click the right click of your mouse, you will get the option open link in new web, open a link in private window, all those kind of things, right? So I want you to click on inspect, and when you click on inspect, you will get the website like this. Okay, you will get the website like this, and this is the code, this is the website code, HTML, CSS of your website. I hope you got the overall logic. And this will tell you, oh, this is an image, this is a text. We will talk about what is a text, image, all those kind of things in just a while. So this thing will give you the whole front end of your like structure of your website. And if you want the code of this website, the code, the returned HTML CSS bundle, then so what you will do is that if you want the bundle of CSS, HTML, JavaScript, whatever the Flipkart.in server have returned to you, if you want to see the whole code of this website, then click on right click and you can see the option called as view page source. Click on that and you will get the whole code of Flipkart. This is the code which they are using, and this is the bundle, returned bundle of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Okay, and you might ask, oh Jaber, if they are giving me the whole code of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then I can use this code and build my own Flipkart, right? But you need to understand that this is just the front end of the website. There are servers, and in the servers they are writing their own code, and that code you cannot extract, you cannot get the code of the backend. Okay, and to create a complete end-to-end website, there are a lot of things more than front end, more than HTML, CSS, JavaScript. There are a lot of more things. Okay, so this is just the front end part of the website. This is the bundle of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, this is the code of this web page. Okay, so in this course we are gonna learn, what we're gonna learn is that first of all we will begin with our front end, and in the front end we will learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, Tailwind. Okay, and this is not a linear fashion. I'm just showing you the overlay. Here we will go with zigzag pattern. First of all we will learn HTML, and I will make 3 parts of HTML. Right, 3 parts of HTML. You will get 3 different lectures on HTML, level 1, level 2, level 3, like this. You will get different parts of HTML, and I will make around 3 to 4 parts of CSS, 6 to 7 lectures of JavaScript, because believe me when I say that you will understand internet, you will understand browser completely if you understand JavaScript. JavaScript is the important part of web development. If you don't understand JavaScript, then you will not understand Express, Node.js, React, you will not understand it. So JavaScript is really important. That is why I'm making 6 to 7 parts, around 6 to 7, 8 parts of JavaScript. After that we'll learn what is Bootstrap, Tailwind, and in the backend we are gonna learn Express, Node.js, and there are also other things called as middlewares, APIs, all those kind of things, but this is the just overview. Okay, and in the backend we are mainly gonna focus on SQL and MongoDB. Okay, and finally at the end of our course we are gonna learn React. Okay, I hope you got the overall overview of the course. Now before we begin our actual lecture, right, there are some pre-requirements that you should have. That is, you should have laptop. That is the basic need. If you are starting with web development, then you should have laptop, and it is really important. And it is not like you should have high-end laptop, MacBook or anything like that. It can be a 25,000 laptop as well, right? Web development will work for any kind of aspect, irrespective of the aspect you can begin with. Okay, and in fact if I want to tell about my journey, when I am in 12th grade, whenever I am in 12th grade, coronavirus was happening, and I began my programming journey with a old computer in my home. I was having a computer, and I began my programming journey with that old computer. I think Intel Platinum, it's a very old chip, and using that chip I have started my programming journey. Okay, so the first thing is you should have computer, and some people say that I will do it in my phone using compilers. Yeah, you can do it, but I don't know it is viable. I don't think it is that much viable. Okay, so the first thing is laptop, and the second thing is internet connection. So we are gonna install some packages, we are gonna install some things, some code editors in our computer. In that you should have internet connection and browser. So in the browser only we are building the web, our website for the internet. Internet is nothing but we are having different browsers: Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Brave, Safari, all these kind of things, right? So you should have a browser in your computer and Visual Studio Code. This is the main thing. All the things which we are gonna do, we are gonna perform that in our VS Code, and it is really important to install VS Code in your computer before we begin our actual lectures. And let me show you how we can install our VS Code. So go to Google Chrome or come to your browser and write VS Code, and here you can see that you are getting VS Code. Okay, and click on that and you will get the VS Code here. Now depending on your extension, if you want to install for Windows, then you can click here, right? And if you wanna install for MacBook or anything like that, then you can write right? VS Code for Mac, VS Code for Linux, like that. You can search and you can get the respective version of your VS Code. Okay, now if you want to download VS Code, then just click on download and click install this software in your computer. And it is really important because we are gonna perform all the things in our VS Code code editor. And if you haven't installed VS Code, then please install VS Code editor. So this is our introduction lecture. Coming back to PPT, this is our overall introduction lecture. I hope you have understood what is internet, what are the things which we are gonna learn, and how valuable this course is. And I will promise you one thing, I will try my best to provide the best value that I can, and this thing is going to be the best thing on the internet. Okay, so with that being said, I will see you in the first lecture, and the first lecture is going to be on HTML level 1. So with that being said, I will see you in the next one.